He just carelessly sprayed some water on the car window and gave it a few random wipes. Right after that, the homeless man stuck out his hand asking for money, but the driver wasn't someone easily fooled and naturally ignored this obvious scam. The whole begging routine was just a cover. His real plan was robbery. The homeless man was deliberately picking a fight, trying to force the driver to open the door. His actual target was the young woman inside the car. When he saw the girl getting scared and trying to escape, he went straight into action, quickly taking down both bodyguards. Mike immediately drove off in the stolen BMW, cornering the girl in the middle of the road before forcibly shoving her into the trunk. By the time the bodyguards came to their senses, Mike was long gone. This girl happened to be the local crime boss's daughter, pampered since childhood, and now kidnapped in broad daylight on a busy street. If word got out, it would be absolutely humiliating. The crime boss was absolutely livid. 2 professional bodyguards couldn't even handle one so-called homeless guy. What made it even more infuriating was that they had no clue about the perpetrator's identity or appearance. The boss went ballistic, gave both bodyguards another beating, then put out a street bounty worth $3 million. Everyone in the organization, from gang members to street hustlers and vendors, was ordered to join the manhunt. Meanwhile, Mike had driven the BMW several miles when he suddenly noticed the trunk had gone completely silent. This immediately set off alarm bells. He was worried the girl might have suffocated, so he found a secluded spot, made sure no one was around, then carefully opened the trunk. But the situation was completely different from what he'd expected. Mary wasn't just unharmed. Her extreme terror had actually triggered incredible survival instincts. She seized the moment to bolt down a hillside, running for her life. Mike chased her for quite a while before finally catching up again. He urged Mary to calm down, explaining that kidnapping her wasn't meant to be malicious, but was actually for her own safety. Then Mike pulled out a photograph from his jacket and placed it on the ground for Mary to examine closely. The photo showed Mike along with 2 other people. One was Mary's father, the crime boss, and the other was her mother. It looked like the 3 of them had been very close back in the day. Mike claimed he'd taken Mary because her mother had asked him to, but hearing this only made Mary more upset. Her mother had died 5 years ago. How could she possibly have entrusted her to some stranger?
Mother made me promise, if anything ever happened to her, that I would find you and I would come and take you away from Vicente.
Despite all her doubts, Mary could sense that this man didn't seem intent on hurting her. His eyes were filled with sincerity and earnestness. To convince Mary he was telling the truth, Mike actually pulled out a gun, but he wasn't planning to shoot Mary or harm himself. Instead, he placed the weapon on the ground, putting the choice in Mary's hands. If he had any bad intentions, she could pull the trigger right then and there. Mary picked up the gun and discovered it was actually loaded, nearly shooting Mike by accident. It was precisely because of this insurance policy that she reluctantly agreed to get back in the car with him. After all, staying alone in this remote wilderness wasn't exactly a great option either. However, the moment Mary got in the car, she immediately pointed the gun at him and coldly demanded he take her home. Mike just laughed when he heard this. He couldn't believe a little girl would actually shoot, so he kept driving forward anyway.
What the fuck? Are you crazy? Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Fortunately, Mike had been prepared. He'd only loaded